Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So a few weeks ago we moved my Etsy shop, which used to be down here in the basement, to another location here on our property, the White Shop. You guys have heard plenty about the White Shop. I had shared the process of how we had fixed up a section in there. Originally I had intended to maybe have a little store in there, sell some of my furniture. That all didn't work out, and I clearly remember my husband telling me from the beginning when we started fixing up the space, someday you're going to have your Etsy shop out there. And I remember kind of laughing at him and saying, no, it's perfect here in the basement. Why move it if it works so well down here? And of course I had intended to have that space for something else, but in the end he was right. Before showing you the moving process, I'm going to talk a little bit about how my Etsy shop got started. I know many of you have requested to hear about it. I realize this does not apply to everyone, so if you want to skip ahead to this time, that's where all the moving and the organizing starts. So the reason I'm sharing my story is to hopefully be an inspiration to you guys. If anyone is thinking of starting an Etsy shop or a business, go for it. Seriously, if I can, you can too. I am nobody special here. Like what I do, I feel like anyone can do. We of course all have different, talents and gifts to use. Your product may be totally different than what I'm selling, but there's a high chance that there's a market out there for it. You really have nothing to lose to maybe start an Etsy shop. It doesn't cost anything to start. I fervently believe if you have a passion for something, you love what you're doing, you feel right about it, it's going to work out. So before getting into the actual stats of my Etsy shop, let me just briefly tell you a little bit about myself in case you're new to my channel. My name's Mary, and I love to share the many projects I have going on around here with you guys. So back to the subject at hand here, the Etsy shop, and again, I'm just filming this to hopefully be an inspiration to you guys. I'm definitely not trying to be boastful with anything here. I just want to show you that if this can work for me, it definitely can work for you too. I started the Etsy shop in the summer of 2017, and here we are almost 4 years later, and it looks like the sales are over 30,000. Thanks to you guys. I could not have come this far without you. If somebody would have told me right when I started that someday I would have this many sales, I probably would have laughed at them. I did not think that would be possible. But again, it's you guys that made this happen. Thank you so much. It's been so much fun. But let's go into the inside of the Etsy shop. So taking a look at the order history of this shop, just to clarify, sales and orders are two different things here. The amount of sales is actually individual items that are sold, whereas orders are just the separate, orders that come in. In 2017, which really would have just been a half a year, I had 72 orders, and I was in my glory with those 72 orders. I couldn't believe that people were actually buying my products. It was so exciting to me. I have always loved to sell things. I don't consider myself to be good at it. I'm really not a good salesperson, but I love the challenge of selling a product. And to me, that was just far out that people would actually buy from me. And then I know my hot item for that year was a table runner. It was a vintage hair table runner, and I will throw this on the screen for you guys to see, but I had so much stress with those table runners because I did everything myself. I actually printed out the bunnies, like the hair images, and then I ironed them on with just my regular iron, not a heat press or anything. I remember working late at night, ironing on these bunnies. My arms got stiff because I had to throw my whole weight onto that iron to get them to stay. But it was, after all, an order. It was still exciting for me, but I did have some stress with them. So looking ahead to 2018, I had 307 sales, definitely a lot better. I started my YouTube channel in February of 2018, and that's when things started to get interesting. I was able to use my YouTube channel and share with you guys some of the products, maybe new products that I would add to my shop. I remember my first product that I kind of promoted on my channel, and I'll try to dig that out and show it to you guys. So what it was is I found these little antique doors at a local antique mall, and I turned them into signs with the word "gather" on them. and I painted that on, and I talked about that on my channel. I just made a special little video of these doors, and I could not believe it. I remember in I think 4 hours I was sold out, and to me that was such a big deal. Very exciting. I was so happy to get these little doors in people's hands. I just love the idea of, you know, creating something and sending it off on the mail and somebody else could enjoy it. Another popular item I had on my Etsy shop at this point were the paper scrolls. And honestly, I still would probably have them if I would have a print shop that could print them for me. It's so hard to find someone around here that is willing to do it. It's really hard. You need a certain printer, you know, to do this. At one point, I had even just cut out the decals and applied them to the paper, which that was really challenging, being that you just had one shot to get it on there evenly. You couldn't, you know, pull it back off or you would tear your paper. So it definitely worked much better to have a, you know, an actual print shop that did them. Eventually I did replace, you know, the scrolls with, you know, other items, but I still like to see a scroll hanging on a wall. Who knows, maybe someday I'll just invest in my own printer and make them myself. So by 2019, I had 3,750 orders, which was just mind-blowing to me. I was in my glory, of course. Moving up to 2020, I had 12,114 orders. Again, just mind-blowing. I never would have dreamed this would happen to me. I definitely feel very blessed to have this Etsy shop, and again, it's thanks to you guys for making it possible. I definitely have some stress and headaches involved, you know, with anything like that, but for the most part, it's been just so much fun. I, of course, am not really comfortable talking about actual revenue on here, but if you're looking for a side income, when I started out, I just wanted a way to just kind of help to make ends meet around here, even just, you know, cover the groceries or, you know, anything helps. And if you love to create, you like to make things, you really have nothing to lose to give it a shot, whether it's through Etsy or another platform. Who knows, your part-time income may become your full-time income and more. It's not that difficult to reach 6 figures with just having an Etsy shop. I do want to mention though, I'm not sure where my shop would be if I wouldn't have this YouTube channel. So you may have to, you know, either use Instagram or something to really promote your Etsy shop. With just Etsy alone, I feel it's really challenging to get a lot of traffic to your shop, or for me it was. I would advise you, if you're thinking about starting an Etsy shop, definitely do tons of research. There's many good videos out there of people speaking about different, you know, advice and tips they would have for you, you know, when starting an Etsy shop. There's different tags you can use to help get your Etsy shop up there, you know, in the search engines. So tons of different videos out there. I definitely recommend that. That's what I did. And my sister at the same time started her Etsy shop. In fact, I think she may have had hers a little before mine. Not quite sure on that, but we were able to brainstorm together, which was so helpful. I would also advise that, you know, find someone doing similar things, whether it's an Etsy shop or just another business. That's very motivating to have someone to, you know, talk with and share ideas. In August of 2019, I hired my niece, MB, to work for me. And in the beginning, she just worked, you know, part-time, but after a couple of months, we went to full-time. And I always tell her I could not do this without her. She was probably one of the best decisions that I ever made, was hiring her. She basically runs my Etsy shop for me. I mean, there's things that I need to see to, of course, but she does a wonderful job. Last summer I hired Sarah. She works part-time for us. She just works out of her home and makes most of the decals for us, does a wonderful job with them. I have an Amish neighbor lady, her name is Drusilla, and she does most of the sewing for me. She works very fast and her work always looks so good, so I'm really blessed to have her. I have a lady that pours the candles for me. Her name is Amy. I think I've talked about her before on my channel, but she does amazing work with hand pouring all of those candles. There's a few other people that have done work for me over the years, but for the most part, those are kind of the regulars. I am blessed with my business in the way that I don't really need a whole bunch of inventory. Candles are something we order every week. So if I order them from Amy, you know, she makes a whole bunch for us, and we don't really need the space to stock just a whole lot of them, which is really nice. I don't have a lot of room for that. And then decals, of course, are really easy to store. They're not, you know, it doesn't take up a lot of space. And then our fabric stuff, I can just order every week also. So that is really helpful for us. I don't need a big warehouse or something, you know, to store my things. Sometimes I stand out in the Etsy shop and I look around and I think, how do we even make money? There's nothing here. But it is really nice to have that system at this point. Of course, we need to put our ship dates out because of that, because some things are kind of made to order, but for the most part we keep a few things extra in stock, and then we just order every week. Sometime in a future video I may end up sharing with you some of the other little business ventures that I've tried in my life. I'm kind of the type that I like to try new things, and I kind of have my finger in everything, too much so, trust me. But I had some that kind of worked for me, and then others did not, and you probably would get a laugh out of some of the things that I've tried to do. But right now I kind of feel like I'm where I should be. I've done a lot of praying over this business, and I feel like it's where God wants me to be at this point. But that could all change. We're not guaranteed to, we don't know our future. But until then, I'm just going to keep at it and continue to do what I'm doing. I hope this part of the video was beneficial to you. Maybe if you're thinking of starting your own Etsy shop, go for it. Yes, there definitely are some challenges and hurdles to get over, but it's all worth it. It's been so much fun, and I'm sure if you like to create things, you would enjoy it too. So now let's get to the actual moving of the Etsy shop. I had originally started the Etsy shop in our living room, and I do think I still have some pictures of that. I'll try to show you guys, but the back corner of the living room for a couple years is where I worked out of. And eventually I did move everything down to the basement, and now of course it's out in the shop. While working out of the living room, I had put up a room divider of sorts, just used some old panels, kind of created a wall, and then I hid my Etsy shop behind that. And then in 2019 we got the basement ready and moved everything downstairs. I painted the floorboards, or the ceiling part of the basement. We installed carpeting and just tried to kind of pretty up the space, make it presentable, to have a little office in there. And then the back room we used for the actual packaging room, which it was always kind of dark and bleak back there, but it totally worked. And I would encourage you, if you're thinking of, starting a business, to just do it out of your home to begin with. That way you can actually see if it's something you want to do, and you're not spending extra money. Going out to the shop space, we just basically put a wall up to divide a section of the shop, off. For the dividing wall, we just put our shiplap on there. I've done it before here in our house in the living room, where we just cut, strips of plywood and then nailed it to the wall. I know you can get fancy shiplap and just, pay a lot for it, but to me, I actually kind of like this look best. I just feel it looks like the real old-fashioned shiplap. And any walls that were drywalled in the shop got the shiplap too. And then the blocks got a coat of paint. My dad had actually helped some with the painting. The ceiling in here had some weird seams in it, and instead of trying to fix that, we just covered it up with wooden boards. And I think that really fits the look in here. It was just an easy, cheaper way to take care of the seams. And then of course we needed a bathroom out here. My dad did a lot of work in here, installing the shower and the toilet, a water heater, and then also the heating source. One of the more major things we needed to do was put a sewer pipe in, from the shop down to our septic system. Of course that involved some digging. There's still a lot of, dirt piles sitting around. We haven't, finished that yet. We thought we'd wait until spring. My husband, of course, did a lot of the work too. He put a lot of the shiplap up and then finished some of the plumbing stuff in here. And he made this cute little corner vanity. Here I am applying a coat of anti-slow clear wax to this top. First I had given it 2 coats of polyacrylic. Even just the polyacrylic does a good job of protecting a surface, and then with the added anti-slow clear wax, it really repels any moisture. We got these industrial shelves at Lowe's, and here I am assembling them. As I'm filming this, it is the last day that the Etsy shop is downstairs. Feeling just a little bit bittersweet about it, but knowing it will be a lot nicer out there. I know we're going to love it. As you can see, it is getting a bit cluttered and crowded down here.
Sen så vi måste så det så att säga fisk och så fisk rakt där ner. Så. But no more so there's that. So they want to start to say and so it's not like liebe so fish. So it means now more cause my slots and fish snacks and so that's Aya.
That really big set of liar.
Once I get around to decorating this space, I will just do a separate video on that. But for now, I will just show you how it's looking. Taking a look at the little family room part here, there's definitely some decorating to be done yet. I don't have any end tables or any furniture besides the TV stand there in the corner, and then of course the sofas. But I do want to maybe put a piece of furniture here underneath the window, or a lamp or something. And then of course this big wall here would get something put on there. And I want to buy some cozy pillows and throws eventually. I got these sofas at Williams Furniture. If you're local, it is from Dover, Ohio. I'm really impressed with them. They have 2 recliners each, so we have 4 recliners here. That was pretty important to the guys. And back here is the little bathroom. Still not quite finished, but usable. I want to get a shower curtain eventually. Maybe hang something on the wall behind the toilet. And then I really am liking this little kind of industrial style vanity here. I chose to keep the front open. I kind of like the look of actually exposing the pipes like this. At one point I had debated whether to paint the black pipes. Do I want to paint them that silver color or just leave it black? Not quite sure. Well, eventually I want to put some bins or something in here for just to hold some maybe cleaning supplies or whatever you have underneath the vanity. I think this little sink is so cute. We had to go with something pretty small for this corner. In case we ever want to put a shower door here, it would need to have some room, you know, to swing. So that is why we just made our own little vanity top here to fit into the corner. So the sink is looking kind of spotty. I should probably clean it. And then the light fixture is this. It's kind of hard to film here. Hopefully you can kind of see the glass there. Got that at the local hardware store. And eventually I want to add a mirror here on the wall. And for now I'm actually choosing to keep the walls the color they are. You guys are probably surprised I don't paint them. I may eventually end up doing that, but I think for now I just kind of like the wood look, as long as it doesn't turn, you know, too orangish on me. These doors are from Lowe's. Right beside the bathroom there is a little closet space here. It's actually where the water heater's at, and then of course storage. Can never have too much storage. And then turning around and looking out towards the Etsy space. Just so nice and bright, especially today with the sun shining. Just yesterday, John put this fan in. We needed a fan here since our hot air, of course, you know, goes up, and our heating source, our electric heater, is up high like this. We thought it would be a good idea to have that fan, and it really seems to work. It's nice and cozy in here. This area over here where the table's at will kind of be just a small studio space. If I want to take pictures, I can use the shiplap wall and also the farmhouse table. Many of you may remember this as being our kitchen table. I love this table. Nobody else in my family did because of the uneven boards, but I'm not sure that I'll ever get rid of it. I made it myself, and the wood actually comes from my husband's home farm, so it has a special meaning. It will definitely be a nice photo prop. And looking over here towards the office space, the blinds I got from Amazon. I've used them before in our house. We just love this sort of shade. It's just so easy to use. You know, just push up if you want to, you know, put it up, and then pull down to pull it down. They're a bit pricey, but it's definitely worth the price. And I'll make sure to include the color of them in the description box. Not quite sure offhand what color they are. there's still some things to be added here. I do want to add some plants, probably on the black table, and probably a sign or something between the windows. Right now the shelf below the window is stocked with some skirts. We are trying to get rid of the winter skirts and make some room for the spring and summer line coming soon. And here is the packaging space where MB will often be found. For now it seems about right with the amount of shelves we have, and then this large cabinet here holds a lot of things. We have all of our fabric things in there, and then also some supplies. This cart here is really handy for MB to take her packages over to the other part where the postman will pick them up then, and everything will of course be in these large, strong totes. And I will also link all of the stuff down below in the description box. Most of it is from Amazon. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was encouraging to you, especially for those of you who are thinking of starting your own business. Again, it doesn't have to be with Etsy. In fact, Etsy does have a lot of, fees and things you don't really have with maybe some other sites, but it is definitely an excellent way to start out with. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye. Hi, sweet. There's been a perfect microphone.